We're away again, so I'm just going to make some noise with this.
Why at the minute we said record, you make the noisiest thing, even though there was nothing wrong with that mic stand.
Hello, can you hear me?
Do you want to pull a lead out or something?
Pull the lead out of your mum. Oh, sorry.
You don't usually pull out.
You don't. Oh, you don't. She's had all her tubes cut up then. Anyways, just stop encouraging me.
Oh dear.
We're back. And Luke is with us again. Again. Luke is back.
Sponsor and friend Luke Van Boom.
Hello.
One of two sponsors, so let's do a big shout out to Love Beer as well, to Charles. We will at some point ensure that Charles and Luke are in the same room at the same time to drink some of Charles's booze.
Yeah, so his sweet, sweet nectar.
Why are you trying to make that sexy? As you can see, Chris is still dressed as a 14-year-old this evening.
Yeah, still kicking up a little bit.
Brilliant.
As well, so apologies.
So we are going to do... Who suggested this?
This was, for fuck's sake, I was like, I don't even need to write that down because it's so obvious. Simon Newbury.
Okay. And we are doing...
Is that guesswork?
A little bit, I guess, right? I so knew it earlier. I was like, oh yeah, I don't even need to write that one bad boy down. Go on.
Top 5 office gripes. So through experiencing working in an office or a workplace, I guess, those little things that people can do, or even you do yourself, that drive you up the fucking wall.
Because you just said before we started recording, I said, have you got your 5? And you said to me, of course I have. I've just quit an office job where I was going to fucking kill people. So I'm looking forward to your ones and that.
Thanks, man.
And you didn't get fired. You definitely quit.
I'll definitely quit.
It's not what I heard.
Yeah.
I heard you were literally begging them.
What? I'll suck your dick, man.
Suck your dick, man. Anybody want a cheeseburger? Yeah, okay. This is a good one. This is one of these ones, like, it's like one of those, the ones we've done where it's like things that just fucking do your head in, like toe rings or people walking down the street with their hands down their pants and stuff
good.
like that.
I'm going to start.
So, go on then, crack on.
A whisperer.
Oh, that's such a good one. That's so good.
Okay, so...
that angers me.
I worked with someone and she would start a sentence by going, hello, Stuart, you all right? And I'd be like, hello, how are you? Did you have a nice weekend? She'd go, yeah, I did, but didn't really do a lot. What?
This isn't the same as my whisperer.
What? And she'd finish every sentence by whispering it.
Yeah.
Which, at first I thought was odd.
Yeah.
And then I kept... Because, contrary to popular belief, I'm not a massive wanker. Like... Every part of me just wanted to go, what? But that's horrible, right?
Yeah.
And so, she would literally, every single time I spoke to her, would go, do you want a cup of tea? No, I just didn't know what she was saying.
Yeah.
She didn't drink tea or coffee.
Yeah.
That sets off alarm signals.
Well, people don't like hot drinks?
Bothers
Hit?
me. Yeah, see, he's weird though.
Yeah. Luke, do you drink hot drinks?
I do.
Right, let's test this.
Yeah.
What we got here?
I mean, he has just drunk a cup of tea in front of you.
Was that yours or my coffee?
Luke's
that's yours.
Oh, sorry.
That we spat in. That's mine.
Yeah. By the way, just not that brings that much of a visual element. Does anyone want a sweet?
No, thanks, mate. I'm back onto the keto diet.
Oh, okay. You're all right.
Thanks.
Yeah. What she would also do as well is once she'd whisper something, if she was walking to maybe like the printer or something like that, and everyone was talking, she would creep.
Oh, yeah. This is frustrating, man. I'm getting agitated.
Why are you creeping? Just fucking walk.
Yeah, just walk.
But she'd whisper and kind of tiptoe down the office like the fucking secret lemonade drinker.
She's shook, isn't she? Something shook her. She's like a scatty cat.
Maybe she was just saying really
liked
incredibly rude or racist things. Maybe, you'd say, do you want a cup of tea? No, but I would like a little bit of anal.
I wish that was it, because she would be totally winning if that was the case.
Yeah.
But
would you like a cup of tea? No, thanks. You fucking ugly cunt.
Yeah, exactly.
You can stick one up me, Popsy. No such luck. So yeah, I'm just going to throw that one in there, get things off. It just popped in my mind.
Oh, it's a good one. But like when you said whispers, I don't like people in office who whisper. Like just in general, like they're sort of they're gossiping, or they've got something to say, or they've made an observation about someone or something, and you didn't decide to be part of this situation, and then they start whispering to you, and you're fucking 5 metres away from the person. I can't stand that sort of shit. Like, even in real life as well, I've got friends who might start whispering to me in situations. I'm like, if you can't say it at this level, do not say it at all, because I just don't like it. I don't like that sort of like, oh, he said, she said, oh, look at what they're wearing, or oh, they weren't very good today, or just it really fucking does my head in. And it's always petty shit that people whisper about.
Or you.
Or me. I'm cool with that. Just say it to my face. You don't hold back, do you?
No.
You're jealous of my shirt today, and you have not held back from that, have you?
No.
I love how since we've started filming shit, he started dressing his age. Because at the start of this year, every day I came in here, you had like a youth sweater on, and I'd always go, that's a nice sweater, probably because I like a youth sweater.
Yeah.
So next week I want you to fucking
I'll
dress your age.
I'll go Brian Harvey next week. Don't worry.
That's a great one, whispering. Do you want to throw one out there, Luke, or do you want me to throw one out there?
I think like coming off from what you said, I just hate that little kind of that little invisible wall of like what is. It's going to sound really wrong. What's the appropriate way to behave in the face of people being really cunty? Do you know what I mean? Like you're saying, like because someone can be like. Yeah. There's that thing in the office where someone can be like the real passive aggressive nature of a lot of offices. Yeah. But then there's the fact that if someone is like that, then they know they're doing it, and they know that there's that invisible wall of like, you can't say what you really want to say to me because we're here at work, we're here in the office, so I can needle you all day long, but you're going to hold back from going, fuck off with that. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Because you're expected to go, I take your point. Absolutely, I should consider that, and you know what I mean. And you can't. Is that where's the straight talking bit gone? Yeah,
sneaky little passive aggressive shit.
If I had a proper concise top 5, that would have been my number one. Yeah. Passive aggressive people in the workplace. Yeah.
Did you know how you deal with them?
Punch your fucking face.
No, because you can't do that. Accidentally spill scalding hot coffee on them.
All right.
You can do that all day long.
You know what Big Papa J used to do?
Continue.
The woman that sat opposite him, he couldn't stand. And he actually got called up in the office for she complained that he farted too much. Obviously, Just was like, there's no way they can prove this, so I'm just arguing this. And he was like, don't know what you're talking about. And he said, like, and he just kept laughing. Like, this was when he worked for the Evening Echo. And they're like, well, she's made complaints that you keep passing wind. And he's like, prove it. And he can't walk back to his desk. Obviously, they couldn't prove anything. Walked back to his desk. He said, like, she just looked at him because she knew what he'd been in there for. He said, literally ripped a massive fart. He just turned on his desk fan and just angered it out.
Oh,
perfect. Just perfect.
So, shall I do one?
Yeah.
Fashionistas.
Oh, okay.
So, Rich coming from me.
Yeah.
But believe it or not, I try and behave myself in an office. So, often Fridays is just down day. And for some people, they've got to somehow make some sort of statement about who they are. Like they can't keep that shit to Saturdays or Sundays.
Do you go Brian Harvey?
Like I am now?
Yeah.
No, I just wear literally like a t-shirt and jeans and a pair of trainers, right?
Okay.
Well, the t-shirt says, I hate... No, I was going to say something awful there. You know, so like... So basically... I've had loads of trouble with this in the past, but in the most recent job, there's a guy, and he's known as one of these sex people. He goes to his name's Sebastian,
Brilliant.
And he goes to. The rumours is he goes to sex clubs, and firstly, you want to high five him for that. That's great, but he's definitely the guy in the sort of like the kinky outfit, listening to listening to Rammstein.
He's posh, right?
Getting pegged. Basically,
he's posh. Yeah?
He is a little posh, right? Yeah. And hey,
turn the heater off, please.
That might be okay. Office. That's one of my other pet peeves in an office. And he has come in the office in like dungarees, which on dress down day, you know, when you just think you're starting to push it. And then a couple of weeks ago, he fucking came in. One leg was tartan, trouser leg tartan, and the other leg was ripped denim. And he's got all like studs and like he's just gone for it. And I can't help but think, you've not always worn, you don't always have to wear those clothing. That's one of your raddest outfits, and you've just got to be the cool. You're trying to be the cool dude in the office, and it just looks fucking stupid, man. It really does my head in. And
years ago, it'd always be different. It'd be more like the wacky guy in the office would have like a Simpsons tie.
Yeah, the novelty tie.
Yeah. Or a pair of like Family Guy socks.
Disgraceful.
Yeah. But with all like everything's moved on. Like back when I started, you couldn't really have beards in the office, and like they've made allowances, but they are kind of like still. Look, it is a bank. Like, can you just exercise some degree of like being conservative here? And they're like, no, this is me where I've got to show everyone who I am is at the office. It's like, it's just, you know what annoys you sometimes when people are trying to be too cool, or you know,
different.
That is what it is. It's that, you know. And the other thing I used to have is as a manager dealing with people like, and there's very clear guidelines in the handbook about what you could and what you couldn't have, and like
probably wise if you're
shaving their heads and dyeing their hair like leopard print all over, and it being like we've spoken about your outfits and it's in the handbook of what we can wear and what we can't, and you've signed the contract, and now I've got to somehow deal with the fact that you've done that, which is basically facing a possible employment tribunal, because I'd be like, right, you'll come back, you can only come back once that's died done. And it's just a nightmare. People are like, no, I'm literally going to do this. It's like, it ain't the fucking place for it, man. So that's what gets on my nerves. People who are trying to be making their statement in the office, it just bores me. It really does. What's your number 4, mate?
Christmas party.
Oh, right. Oh.
We're going to have some fun. We're going on the Christmas works, dude. Oh, okay. Yeah. Cool. Do you have fun when you go out every weekend? Yeah. Why is this one going to be any different? Yeah. And it's just months leading up to it of like, watch him, he's mad. Like, I'm going to get so fucking wasted on the Christmas do. Yeah. Really amazing. Yeah. Brilliant. And then you what? Going to try and finger someone in reception to fucking Last Christmas? Bore off. Fucking rubbish. Yeah. Premeditated fun. You're going to have fun tonight. It's going to be amazing. I'll be the judge of that. I'm far too miserable for this. I don't want to go there and pretend. In fact, I'm staying at home, which is what I've done this year. Yeah, we're definitely... I was invited to the Christmas do this year, even though I just left. Yeah. I was invited.
But you didn't go. You didn't want to bring everyone down.
I actually drove my wife there because she works for a while. And I actually drove cousin fucker there as well. And then I just went, I'm going to go work. And I went to the brush. Yeah. I just thought, I just do not want to go and have forced fun. Yeah. Like, it's just like going out on New Year's Eve. It's like, you're going to have fun on a different level to just going out and having fun. Yeah. Don't want to.
Yeah. Do you know what
I don't want to be around a lot of the melts that I work with. I hope no one from my old workplace listens to this, because not that they fucking like me anyway.
I can't sack you twice.
Exactly. But yeah, just people that
you do like. So you did like some of the people you work with. You spoke highly of some of those people.
Yeah, absolutely. But then there was ones that I really didn't like. Yeah. You know, when one of them explains to me that the highlight of his weekend is he might have a pasta bake.
Oh, what? Yeah.
That's not living.
Poor sausage.
But when he comes to the Christmas do, he's gonna go mad.
Well, it's like that. It's like The Office, isn't it? When he's like, oh, you got to come with us down the pub. They're all a real laugh, and actually, it's all boring as shit.
It's work dues are rubbish. Do you know what? When I worked with Justin, them work dues weren't rubbish.
Of course.
But they were no different from at the standard weekend.
No, exactly. Anyway. I'm just petrified of Christmas dues because I don't have that attitude. I didn't even mean to have the attitude that I get at Christmas parties, but it's fucking Craig Gleason on 10, and it's terror. I've had disciplinaries, multiple disciplinaries, because even from the very first Christmas party, I just can't respect myself.
We went on a cruise liner
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
in Tilbury,
yeah.
you go on a
Yeah,
boat.
yeah,
You
yeah,
don't sail anywhere, but you just go on a boat and then go to like a small room for a disco, but it's on a boat. Not that you're allowed on the deck,
Yeah.
but you're just in, and it's like, hey, that's mad.
Yeah.
It's not. It's just going to like a shit disco where like the DJ's shit and like the food's shit and like, but you've just got to have fun because it's Christmas.
Yeah.
It ain't Christmas. Christmas ain't for another couple of weeks. I'm in a room with people I don't really want to be around, but I've got to pretend to like them and pretend to give. And small talk.
Yeah.
Didn't think I'd have much to say on this episode, but it's all coming out
You're
now.
right, mate.
I hate small talk.
Yeah.
And so I don't like it when, and also on Christmas work dues, what I don't like is when I've been to work that day with them, and I work with them every day, and every day they're walking, most of them walk past me and don't even say good morning, but then at the works do, they'll walk up to me and shake my hand, even though I've seen them 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, I know
Why are you shaking my
exactly
fucking
that.
hand? You
Yeah.
don't like me. And like, yeah, that bothers me.
Yeah.
Don't like that.
Yeah, it's people like they're all excited, aren't they? And for
Yeah.
you're just too you're too cool a cucumber. Basically.
Don't
That's
think
it.
it's that. I mean, I don't like. I work in fucking nightclubs every weekend.
That's what I mean.
Right? So,
It's not new.
but they're like, oh my god, it's going to be amazing.
It never is. That would have actually been my number one. So I'm totally with you. And I think it's kind of like there's also this slightly scary insight that you see because sometimes it's like there's Sandra from Accounts in a sparkly top. Do you know what I mean? And she's all like, woo!
Yeah.
And sometimes seeing too much of somebody that you work with, seeing too much of their life, that little glimpse into what they might be like outside of that box that you kind of sometimes put people in, like you work in accounts and you do that, and I walk past you every day and you're playing solitaire, do you know what I mean? And that's what, as I know you as, sometimes it's better to not see the bit behind because it's not pretty.
Denise in procurement, just slap drop. Don't want to see it.
Don't need to see that.
No, like I like this high. Like I know I've just been involved in some high risk like debauchery at Christmas parties, and I think that's what I'm signing up for, really. So I'm all right with it, man. I think now I'm an adult.
Why Christmas though? Why?
I don't know.
Why is it that it's a green light to just be a fucking idiot?
I don't know. Like, I don't know.
In Jesus' name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, just
party on. I don't know. I've always enjoyed parties.
Fuck
I can't
you,
help
Chris.
it. Even the people who are trying to have a good time, and for them, like Sheila in the Sparky, they're not doing it all the time, and it's their little release and that. And don't get me wrong, I don't want to hang out with them. I'm, very much looking for the drunken staff members I want to have sex with, which comes on to my other Ossis gripe number 4: staff members who won't have sex with me. That is like. That I've written that down, joking.
Martin, the warehouse manager.
No, I don't know. I like them, and I've got many a funny story, not just for me.
Can
but,
I just finish on small talk? Oh, do you know what? You can. Go on. No, I'm going to have that as another number.
Okay, all right. We'll go into that. Is it me or is it you, Luke? Who's it on?
I have no idea. The format's gone out the window,
Come
isn't
on,
it?
Chris, get in there.
Lazy shits.
Oh, brilliant.
Lazy shits.
Yeah.
What's in it for me? Like, they're never going to do anyone a favour. Like, if it's not in their job description, you know they're not going to do it.
Yeah.
And it's like, it might not be asking for much, but they won't do it. And they are literally what's in it for me. And you think sometimes at work, sometimes you just need a favour off someone, and they ain't gonna do it. And they're always doing the bare minimum, and the bare minimum is usually rubbish. And then they're also the first people to complain when people are getting promoted as well.
Yeah.
They don't get it.
The job's worths, man. Yeah.
That does my head in. Now, what's in it for me, selfish sort of side of it, really sort of like gets on my nerves a little bit. Yeah.
I used to work because I haven't had a proper job or a day. Been an employee for 9 years now, thankfully, and I'm really glad of that because I know when at the point where I left my job, I was at that tipping point of doing something terrible that I would definitely end up regretting because I just lost all my patience for the office politics and the backbiting, the nonsense, and enforced fun and the set menus and all that. I was finished. I was completely finished. And there was one guy talking about lazy shits that used to work in a certain department, and without fail, 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock every afternoon, he'd be asleep at his desk, not trying to hide it, not behind like a little partition or whatever. He was a large man, and he would just sit there like Jabba the fucking Hutt, head back, mouth open, and just snore for 2 hours. And I never knew why someone didn't say, "Wait, you know he's asleep again, right?" Yeah. And it's like, "Oh yeah, don't wake him up," you know. And everyone would be like tiptoeing around him and whispering, you know what I mean, like not to wake him up, because it was just known and accepted from 2 till 4. Yeah, he just has asleep, and it was nothing wrong with him. He didn't have narcolepsy or something. Do you know what I mean? He didn't have a particular. He was just a lazy bastard.
Why was no one trying to throw paper clips in his mouth?
I was on a call centre. It was one of my first jobs at the Ombudsman, and you'd have to, like, the phone would ring, and then one of you have to pick it up, and it was always, there's certain people who would just wouldn't do it, and they're absolutely fine with it, and I think, look, I'm not enjoying doing that, but I signed that contract and they're paying me for it, and you're acting like it's something that is an inconvenience to you. I used to work with Mark behind the bar, my mate Mark, and we both stand there waiting. Someone would come to the bar, go and serve them, pour them a drink, quick chat, boom, 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 go back, start chatting with you. Next person would come up. Mark wouldn't go, and you'd think that you wouldn't have to have a conversation. And most of the time I'd go up and serve, and then there'd be times when I'm like, "Mark, that's 3 fucking people in a row. Are you just going to do something? Do you not even notice?" And you go, and he'd always act aloof. Yet Mark is easily the second smartest person I know.
Thank you.
And like, so he knows. That makes me want to fucking strangle people as well. I'm not saying
we had the receptionist that was hired to answer the phone. Like, literally, she was her job description was answer the phone. Yeah. I answered the phone most of the time. She just didn't do it. She'd just sit there, and it sounds like some sort of 70s cliched like sitcom, but she would sit there filing her nails like some stereotype, like from the Dark Ages. Yeah. And I used to just think, just answer the phone. Yeah. Like, and stuff like that didn't really bother me, because I just thought, if you ain't interested in doing anything, then don't do anything. But it's the ones that don't do anything that then get the ump when other people get on in their jobs, and like, but then moan about other people. It's like, look, you ain't doing a lot. Enjoy it.
I saw when I started this new contract, it was decent money, and in the second day, this guy started sleeping during training. And I couldn't get my fucking head round the fact he was gone and he was asleep. And you know what? When they went, do us a favour and manage for a bit, I forgot to say, and I honestly really was like, when I was looking and doing that, going, he is the person I can't manage, because I really won't get on. I forgot to say that, and he was in my team, and he was the fucking worst. He was the first one to lose his job, surprised at it, and I'd chat to him about it. When we ever had meetings, he weren't listening. He never knew any email that ever went through that was completely critical to his job. It's shit like that, yeah. Oh, man.
You got one, Luke?
Definitely.
Yeah, I think it kind of comes on from your fashionistas one, but it's people that come in wearing their sports gear. and sort of, you know what I mean? And you might either arrive in their cycling shorts, morning. Oh, yeah, how's your ball bag? Do you know what I mean? There it is. On my desk, just there. You know what I mean? There's certain, or sort of after lunch. I've been to Pilates, or I've been for a little jog. Around the industrial park or something where these people work. Is that inappropriate stuff?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'm all for like wear what you want to work. If you're doing your job, you're doing your job. It doesn't matter, kind of what your hair's like or what you're wearing. But that. I don't want to see your testicles, your sweaty balls, coming next to me at my desk, or your front bum, or whatever it might be. Certain things you don't. You might, but certain things that you don't really want to see of your.
Definitely, it's that. Come on, man, you don't need to do that. why are you doing it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
and the added bit of like, oh yeah, just did 7K. You know what I mean? It's great.
Can I do
Great,
7K
great.
up here?
Yeah.
Whilst we're on clothes, can I throw in? I just thought like maybe the last Friday of every week in December we should wear a Christmas jumper. Fuck off! Fuck off! Why? Oh, it's bonkers. You don't have to be mad to work here, but it helps.
Did you? Did you ever do it?
Never.
You see, like they did it this year, and I must say, I ended up. I'm gonna have to die by my own sword here because that Christmas jumper that I made the year before, and when I wrote "Now I have a machine gun" on it, I went in the office with that. And so I was probably I'm trying to be crazy.
Yeah.
But I didn't have another Christmas jumper.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like that.
And it's just like, there's always someone that's like, takes it to a different level and puts like some fucking elf ears on or like some reindeer antlers.
Reindeer
you just
antlers,
think, just it's rubbish.
Have I told you that time when they wanted to decorate the tables? And I couldn't, for me, that was like beyond, like, they were like, well, everyone's got to do a Christmas theme on the table. And the tables took 6 people, right? And it was quite big. The table was probably as long as this room. And people were going bananas. Someone had done an entire Batman Returns nativity scene. Like, it was like the whole Gotham City along, it was mind-boggling. And the team I was working with, they were like, what are we going to do, Chris? And I was like, really? Like, do you guys want to do this? I'm not anti-Christmas. But how much time do you want to spend on this? And they're like, not really. And I went, well, look, my mum and dad have got a load of tat in the loft that they don't want. Shall we just put it all up? And we brought in these black sacks and honestly blue tack, and it was like a proper 80s seizure-inducing Christmas. It was terribly unclassy. You know those cut-out ones that you hang from the ceiling? Well, it looked fucking shocking, and there was loads of it. And we did it in, I would say, it took an hour. And people were doing it all week and were going home and doing it. And when it came to how they were going to award the winner, it was no one knew how they were going to vote. But it turns out it was tables voting. So you had to put in your first and second option. We won. Got half a day off as a result because everyone tactically thought, well, they ain't going to win. And they were like, Chris, your team won. And there was an outroar. And we were like, so you'd have liked that one, mate. That was the... one time it would have been fun.
I'm going to go for the person in the office that just speaks her mind.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm not racist.
Yeah, exactly.
But that Tommy Robinson. Let me tell you,
they come over here and they just have children, and then they go back, and that goes into our. So I'm just speaking my. Yeah. I looked into the stats on that, and I was like, "Oh, do you know that costs us? I think it's a day cost for the NHS or something for the whole year. The amount of people for health tourism." Yeah. And I was like, "Do you not think it's one day of the year financially we give to other countries who come and have things that they need?" And they are. You could consider it taking a piss. Some people are just desperate. I'm all right with that. Like you know what? Cool. You really must need it more than me.
Yeah, but you know me. I speak my mind.
Oh, you do. I wear my heart on my sleeve. I know your heart is black.
That is it. I completely agree because you do get that kind of as if it's like I'm just me. I just say what I think, innit? That doesn't mean that everything that comes out your mouth is correct or okay. Yeah. So I mean, you're still a prick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's so that you are still thanks for letting me know you're a cunt.
Yeah.
and because they don't, because the thing is, I just say I say what I think. It's like wicked. You also aren't like implicit within that is I am never changing my mind. Like I am saying this because I've decided that is it. That's reality. So I say it, and I've said it. There you go. Black should die. Like it is literally like that. And it's like, and then you come and you go, oh. Well, let's have a chat about it. And there's people who do it, and they're like, nah. And I'm like, you want to throw something out there, I will engage with you, and that does my nutting. But I'm just speaking my mind. Yeah, your mind is mush. Mate, yeah, it's a good one, that.
Like the little blind boy that was on the X Factor at the weekend. Oh, weren't he good? Weren't he good? See his mum and dad, they were in tears. Honestly, I was having my Chinese takeaway and I was in tears watching it.
Yeah. All the really obvious shit as well. And is that their attempt at trying to not seem like they, you know, that they've got their, oh, you know, blind kids, you know, blind kids, they're vulnerable, aren't they?
Yeah.
I really care about blind kids.
Yeah.
Don't you? Then you care about blind kids. I don't know, not really. Like, you know, do I know that? Doesn't mean I'm a bad person.
Did you donate £10 then? Fuck off, charity starts at home, mate.
Oh, that Chinese. You've never had any other takeaway, have you?
No.
I don't like any of that spicy stuff.
Don't want none of
Foreign
that
muck.
stuff. I'll have a masala.
Oh dear. Right, what one should I do? 3. Right. We had an incident earlier with this cable, right? And it not being out, right?
Yeah.
Now, this is the perfect example of it. I'm pretty certain I didn't, but I'm definitely not 100% on it. So, apologies if that was me.
Definitely was.
Right? And this is the great example of it, because there are instances often at work where there's a slight fuck up. There's a fuck up, right? I'm not worried about making a mistake as long as I learn from it, but I'm going to make mistakes. I'm sorry, it was my fuck up. But it's when I found very quickly in the office, and it's probably with any other work, like this example here, people, like, sometimes you'll be certain it wasn't you, and that's fine. But I noticed that probably in the 20 times I went into a head-to-head flip of a coin, and I honestly couldn't hand on heart say it was or wasn't my fault, and I'd go, I don't think I did that, but I honestly can't be certain. How many times the other person's gone, no, that definitely wasn't me. That definitely wasn't me. And I just think, you lying cunt, you lying fucking cunt, and you're scared and you're weak because you can't possibly invite the what might be the fallout of it, or just someone potentially thinking you're capable of human error, and that makes me want to claw my own face off when I'm in those situations. And it happened to me the other day, because I've been in these situations a lot in an office. I'm ready for it. And basically, I had a load of fucking around getting my dad's will, right? Bit of a nightmare. Anyway, finally chased it down to this place. It's about 40 minutes drive from my house. And I'd set the day that I was going to go and pick it up. And I was like, right, I'm not driving 40 minutes and fucking this up. So I got my pad out, not my pad, it was my notes on my phone, and I called him up, I said, hi, just calling to check that you are definitely open today. You have said it is a walk-in service, and I just want to check that I can come and check that my will's there to pick it up, right? Yeah, and right, yes, right, now I know I went over with these documents with you the other day. Can I go over these documents with you? And I'm going to jot them down. And they listed them all. You need your driving licence, 3 utility bills. You need your father's death certificate, and a proof of your mother's address. And I went through it, and they were like, yeah, and I was like, so I've got it all. I read it all out exactly how it was. Drove 40 minutes, got there, and it was the woman I spoke to. She was a lovely woman at that point, and then she went, and where's your mum's ID? And I went, and you know when you're just like, I immediately was a bit angry, because I was like, I knew this was going to happen, and I'm on a tight time frame today, and I've got this amount of time to get to yours, to back, and get on with the other responsibilities I've got. And I went, oh, you didn't say that. And I weren't angry. I wasn't angry. I went, oh, you didn't say that. And she went, oh, yeah. And I went, and she went, yeah, no, I did. And I went, look, and that's why I read out the list to you, and I can show you this is the order I read it out to you. She went, no, and by this point, because she was quite loud, I wasn't being quiet about it.
You're not anyway.
Okay, fair enough. That's fair enough point. But it's all front of house, these solicitors. So there's 4 other people there, and there was no fucking way on earth she was going to back down. And she couldn't just say, oh yeah, I might have overlooked that. So I said to her, you know, it's okay to just say you're not sure, and that might have been your mistake too, because it might have been me, but I'm pretty certain in this instance it wasn't. But it doesn't matter if it was or wasn't you, but you can't be certain, can you? And she went, yes, I'm definitely certain. I said, well, you can't be. And then she went, no, because we always need that. And I said, exactly. And because you always need it, there might be the possibility you take it for granted. And why would I know if you weren't clear with me? And I said it in front of these four. I couldn't let her, because I'm not like that normally. I'm like, I always try and give people outs. It doesn't really matter. But she got me. Because it was a 40-minute drive. She got me. And because she wouldn't say sorry, I wouldn't let her out of it at all. And every time she said, I said, no, it's okay to be sorry. It's not that embarrassing to mess up. And in the end, she just went, well, we'll just have to agree to disagree. I said, I guess we will. And she went out the back and disappeared for ages, came back and went, the thing is, it's not at this branch. Everything you've got is fine, but we've got to send off for it. And then, so once it comes back, if you bring your mum's ID, I can give it to you then. I went, yeah, cool. I knew that really it's there. And that they could have, even if it wasn't there, they could have just got the other branch to send it to me. Because they had every proof of ID that I live at the address that I've just shown. So there was no need for me to come pick it up again. But she gave me that bullshit story because she couldn't concede that she was wrong. And I hate it. I hate it when people can't do that. You know? So yeah, that's my number 3. Does that ring any bells? You guys ever had that in
people not being
office egos,
refusing to be accountable for anything?
Yeah, blame storming.
Yeah, absolutely. Just that instant reaction of like both hands up in the air. What, me? And it's like no one's even said anything yet. Why are you already saying that? It's nothing to do with me. Like I'm not trying to make out I was Mr. fucking Rebel, but like anything like that at work, I'd be like, it's probably me. Generally get things wrong, probably me, because I kind of wanted to get sacked. I didn't want to be there, so I didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like you knew how long I was there, thinking I need to
kill
get
me
out
now.
of this. And so it was just like I just didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
And that's a really nice position to be in, because I was conscious of my workload because you know the owner of the firm is someone that I think a hell of a lot of.
Yeah.
But in regards to the small talk and the office bollocks, didn't give a shit.
Because it doesn't matter. Because you're a grown up. Like it's the fact that it doesn't, like, because the crazy thing, the immature thing in here is not the error. The immature thing is to think that you don't fuck up and that you saying this, people believe it because they don't, and they don't actually care. Like people would rather go, oh, right, cool. Even just that thing, it might have been me.
Yeah.
Makes the world an easier place.
Yeah, it's just people with terrible, fragile egos, isn't it? That won't own something, and then there's also, you know, I would take the same approach as you, Stu. You know, is kind of say, well, yeah, it could have been me, because I feel like, I've done enough good. You know what I mean? I haven't. Like, if we're all scoring points, I think I've done enough good to say, that could have been me, and I'm a human being.
Yeah.
But
and
then
I work hard.
Yeah.
And I fuck up.
But then you've got real narcissistic people that will just take that as an opportunity then to try and pinch it on you. If you own one thing, I think that's where it comes from. If somebody owns one thing in an honest way, some pernicious little git is going to go, remember that thing you done?
It's so true, mate. And the minute, and also I noticed that, and I never changed it, but the minute I would concede that I wasn't sure, you'd see someone pin it on you. And it's like, just because you're seeing that as a moment of weakness, it's not, it's just me being honest. And it's your moment of weakness that you saw an opportunity and capitalised on it when it was bullshit. And that, pernicious. Good word. Word of the podcast. Lukey, what you got, mate?
This guy actually goes back to when I knew I had to leave my previous day job, because I always say I was getting close to the edge of saying and doing inappropriate things. And I think at the time, a big influence on me is because on a Monday night, outside of my normal day job, I'd film at a hip hop battle night called the Jump Off.
Yeah.
And it had a massive, massive influence on me, particularly on a Tuesday morning. So the event would finish at I'd get home at 2 in the morning or something, and my brain would still be full of MC battles and all that sort of stuff. And I'd come to work the next day, and if somebody would say something stupid, I'd be there with a punchline in my brain, at least. Yeah. But I knew, I was thinking, I'm getting Tourette's. That's how it felt, because I felt like it was just about to come out my mouth. So somebody would be a dickhead, and they'd go, do you want a cup of tea? And in my brain, I'd go, "Fuck your team, man! You haven't got the skill. Your beard looks like super glue and roadkill." Do you know what I mean? And I know I'd be like, "Yeah, that's fucking told you," but then in reality, you'd go, "Yes, thank you very much." but it was. The thing
Just to clarify, when I offered you that cup of tea earlier, was that going through your mind?
No, he said, yes, please.
Yeah, I love it.
But the thing that used to really set me off was the requests for meetings about meetings.
Yes, I nearly had that. Yeah, such a good one.
We've got a meeting next week, which we probably don't need anyway, but let's a few of us get together to talk about the meeting and spend more time waffling about nonsense before we've actually even got to the meeting that we're supposed to have to do the thing we're supposed to do.
That's something that if you work for yourself, you'd never entertain.
Yeah.
And that's the big part of, again, like you, like I only had that PAYE job for 2 years. Everything else I've just worked myself. And so you have a completely different approach to things. And I think that kind of, well, let's have a meeting to do that. And it's like, oh, go down to Marks and Spencer's and get a couple of trays of sandwiches as well. And it's like, when you look at pro rata, what all the people in that pointless meeting have just cost you, it's fucking dumb. And you just think, like, if it was your business, like, if you worked for yourself, you just would not entertain that. You'd be like, right, well, look, fire me over an email, let's have a look at it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't get it, man. Like
ego.
Yeah, it is. Like
ego. Let me just. I like the sound of my own voice, so I'm just going to fucking talk to everyone, and then they're going to answer me back. But I'm not really going to be listening.
No, because you're waiting for the next thing to say. The next thing, like, so the biggest problem I had with meetings at the end of my career at the FOS was that it was half a day's worth of meetings every day, and it was with other managers who just wanted to say to senior management a little, well, you know, we've just started this little initiative. Kelly, my team, she's very good, Kelly. I don't know if you know Kelly, but she's been brilliant since she came to my team. And I trained her up.
At the Christmas
and
day.
And it would just be they're sucking their own dick in front of the managers, and I couldn't deal with it. And then it get halfway through the hour's meeting, and no one we hadn't really started getting to the kernel of the meeting, and you're like, can we just get this done? Because I've got better places to be. I don't really, I don't want to be talking about how great your initiative is in your thing, because it's not helping what we're here for. And honestly, my day was just getting full and full of meetings, and it was fucking irksome. It really was. Good shout, Luke. Meetings for meetings. Whiffen?
I think I'm nearly done.
You spent?
I'm on a diet.
Okay.
Them ones. Every Monday. Yeah. No, I'm being good this week.
Oh, right.
I'm going to be good this week.
Right,
yeah. No, I've joined the gym. I'm going to be good this week.
Yeah.
And
by Wednesday, chili heat wave Doritos.
Always, yeah. Someone brings in a fucking box of Celebrations. I
was meant to be good.
Yeah, I was meant to be good, but I've just eaten a whole fucking box.
Yeah.
Start again next Monday. It's nearly Christmas, isn't it?
I am quite a good sport in the office. I'm quite a good sport in the office, but the one thing I don't like is when people start. I don't know how much I want to be getting everyone birthday presents and birthday cards, and whose turn is it to bring treats into the office. That's too much for me, man. I really can't be bothered with it.
I didn't know the protocol there, but at the last place, if it's your birthday, you bring cakes in for everyone else.
No, it's the same as well.
What? So, first time I worked there, I've just rocked up on my birthday, and everyone was like, "Ooh, what you got?" And I was like,
"Dick surprise."
And I was like, "Nothing." Yeah. What do you mean? And they're like, "It's your birthday. You got to go and buy like trays of cakes and fucking boxes
Crispy
of flapjacks and shit like that." And I was like, "Huh? It's my birthday."
Yeah.
Like,
what have you lot got me?
Yeah, exactly. I'm not interested in that. Just like, it's just the fact that people pass it off as like, oh, it's good for the office, it gets morale up. No, it don't. All it does is the fucking fat turd in ITs who started the fucking 4th week on a row on a Monday of being good, because he signed up and he's got a 5k at the end of the year. he's just fucking balls deep in Krispy Kremes again.
Again.
But with a Diet Coke.
Of course he'll have a Diet Coke, yeah.
Yeah.
You going to the gym lunchtime? Mate, I'm stacked.
Yeah. You're not.
No, you're blatantly. You got any more?
I've got a couple more. Dirty toilets. Like, I don't understand what people are doing in toilets that they've got to share with their colleagues, and like you go in there and they've sprayed shit up the back of the wall and you're like, what have you done to do that? How have you gone about shitting everywhere? Bogies on the cubicle doors. And it's just like, what are you doing, man? Like, we've all got to use them, and they're fucking filthy. And then you got literally, when I started this new contract, all the girls got on the floor after training, and then they went, right, we need to speak to all the girls on the floor, please. And they all waddled off, and I thought, I wonder what that's about. And they came back. And it was like, yeah, no, some girl's just taking a shit in the middle of the toilets. Like, I had a dirty process. It's like someone on this floor's done that, and you look round and you couldn't say you look like
You look like a shitter.
You look like a shitter.
Yeah.
But someone's done it, and it's just like, look, if you've got a problem with management or whatever,
Your bowels.
or bowels, it ain't everyone's problem.
Yeah.
Get your own back another way. Don't do that. Or, you know, the people just pissing. I would have to clean the seat because I couldn't walk out of a cubicle and someone be there and then them think that was me.
Yeah.
And
Is that what you're overseeing when you're hanging around outside toilet cubicles?
I've just got to make sure those girls' toilets are clean, mate.
Of course,
yeah, girls have got to sit on those.
Yeah.
In my face.
There was a load of ag about people not using the toilet brush in the gents' toilets, to the fact that the manager called me and said, "Can you put up? So I've done marketing and like done some graphic design. Like, can you knock up a little like thing just saying, please clean the toilet." So I just wrote, "Sort your shit out." And put it underneath a picture of Ewan McGregor coming out of the toilet in Train Spotting. Got called back in the office on that one.
Yeah,
why'd you do that? It's funny, isn't it?
Yeah, it's funny. And, you know...
No, it didn't fit Office Funny.
Oh, yeah. It's not in the handbook.
No, Office Funny's like...
Danny Boyle might have sued you guys for copyright infringement now. On that
no,
picture,
but it's like, you know, people like... will have like... What's Office Zany? I'm just trying to think of the fucking... nonsense that people have on their desk, like, you know, just stupid fucking photo frames with photos of their kids that I'm not interested in hearing about.
If anything, it's a risk if I'm about. Don't show me.
No, of
you know,
course.
Jesus Christ, set me off. Yeah. What was I going to say? In their toilets they had a diagram. Like, these are contractors.
Was it the different stalls?
It's that no, it's not that one. But these are contractors on really fucking good money, and I thought it was brilliant. It's my favourite thing I've ever seen in an office in terms of a picture, and it was how to take a shit the right way. And it had people standing on the backs of toilets, standing facing the other way, squatting on the floor with big red crosses. That's not how you take a shit. That's not how you take a shit. Because people were literally doing that. You could see feet marks on toilet lids like that. And it's just like, what are you doing, mate?
They're probably looking over the top of what you're doing.
Jerking off in the office.
You're just peering over the top with your sign. No.
That's not how you take a shit.
Oh,
yeah.
dear.
My very last one. Unless you got any more lads? Any more friends?
No, I don't think so. No.
People who lose their shit over change when there's no where actually you don't even know whether or not that change has any real impact.
It's not how we've always done it. It's not how we've always done it.
It's not how it's done
ain't broken,
here.
don't need fixing.
Not how it's done here.
Just don't understand why we've got to do that.
Before you worked here, this was how we done it. We've always done it like that.
Yeah.
Let me just explain.
Yeah.
Just want to shank them.
Yeah.
Well, we had one where the contract started when we all signed our contracts. 7 till 7. 7 till 7. All right, cool. How much you offering me for that? What have I got to do? All right, yeah. All right, sounds reasonable. Done. We were there for a few months. Listen, because the changing nature of a new project, we really need you guys to work 6 till 6. We know that isn't what's been offered on the contract. People kicked up. I got that because some people might have accepted it because of X, Y, and Z, and it worked with their lifestyle. Blah blah blah. Some people travel from fucking Scotland to do the job. Anyway, most people all accepted it. In fact, no one didn't, and there wasn't that much of an uproar. And do you know what? 3 months in, there was no problems. Everyone was happy. Everyone was fine. No one lost. No one didn't come into work. No one. And then they said about 4 months in, look, for a variety of different resourcing reasons, we're going to have to put that back to 7 till 7 now because the project requires it. And sometimes managers aren't going to explain all the ins and outs of IT software and updating and staff handovers. But there's a business need. We've got to move it back to 7 till 7. The fucking uproar that it caused. Oh, what? You just...